Hi everybody, this is Bogas Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing another weekly Walking Dead review. So this week's weekly Walking Dead review is going to be on the Walking Dead Series 2 Shane figure. So before we take a look at Shane, let's take a look at the only accessory that he comes with, his shotgun. And it looks really nice. It has a lot of great sculpt detail to it. It's also cast in a shimmery kind of plastic, so that looks pretty good. And you can fit this, well, it's more of a, he's battle pose kind of thing. So you're only going to get him to hold it one way. It's going to either be this way or down like this, because this is a Series 2 figure, and it didn't have a lot of articulation. I think this was still kind of when McFarlane Toys was kind of trying to figure out what was good for the Walking Dead figures. This is known as the Insane variant, because he has that insane look on him. Just taking a look at the head sculpt, I don't think it's a great likeness of John Bernthal. I mean, I can see a little bit of the likeness there, but it's only like a 10% likeness. Like his right pupil, or, well, basically just his right eye is just way bigger. Maybe that's just part of the expression, but the eyes definitely look off. They sculpted his hair, and they gave it a texture in here when he shaved his head. What I meant to say was, this is the shaved head version, and they textured it like it is shaved. And they also painted it really good. And I mean, the face is painted pretty well, except the eyes, like he has 5 o'clock shadow right there, and they did it with a little bit of brown and black. And let's lift his arms up here. They even sculpted his necklace on. And they even printed his, I think it's uses the printing tech, because if you look really close, it looks kind of pixelated. But the tattoo on his chest, I thought that was a nice detail. This is really hard plastic, but as you can see, that they did print it all on there. It doesn't just stop right there. And they also gave a nice dirt wash over him, as you can see on his torso and on his arms. They also sculpted the veins in his arms. Although his right arm looks way dirtier than his left arm. I think they went a little overboard with the dirt there. And his shirt right here is open. And since it is open, I feel like they should have done like a soft kind of plastic. That way, you know, you can get him moving his arms down just a little bit further and in more of like a relaxed pose holding the shotgun, instead of just like that. But it looks really nice. It has a little bit of a wash to it. It has a wash of dark blue and then a wash of light brown too. And it's the same with his pants. He has a wash over them. And I think it looks really nice. I mean, the sculpting in this figure is really good. And maybe that's why they didn't do as much articulation, is because it had a lot of sculpt detail. And where they do add the articulation, it really doesn't, you know, detract from the look of the figure. Like, Todd McFarlane said that he likes to make figures with, like, seamless articulation that doesn't interrupt the sculpt. And I feel like that's kind of what they were going for with this. But then people didn't like it, so, you know, they started doing the standard articulation. And then there are his boots. They have a lot of paint to them. They have the wash of brown, which looks like dirt, and then they did a blue wash and a black wash. And then he has tread on his boots. Except on his left boot, he has like a square piece right there. You figure that's where they'd put like the McFarlane Toys right there, but they didn't. But this one has a lot of sculpt detail to the bottom of it. And paint detail too, so that's pretty nice. So, now let's go over his articulation, or lack thereof. So, his head can't look back at all because of the jacket, or his shirt. It's really hard plastic. That's another reason they should have used like a softer, rubbery kind of plastic, is he can't look up at all. He can look down all the way, though, and he can move his head side to side. He has swivel shoulders that can just move up and down a little bit. As you can hear, it kind of makes that noise when you're moving it. So you only get up and down movement. And then he has swivel hips that can just move side to side. And, you know, he doesn't really even need that articulation, because what are you going to do? Have him like that? Or have him like this, doing whatever this thing is? So honestly, I think he could have even done without the leg articulation, because he really doesn't need it. So now let's do some size comparisons. Let's get him to stand there. Okay, so here he is next to the Series 4, I want to say. Might be wrong about that. But this is the later version of him. And they did it with the police hat on and more of a tame expression instead of the insane expression that they gave this one. And I think the color's the same. The color looks slightly brighter on this version, but the main thing that changed was the head sculpt. And here he is next to the, I believe this was also Series 2, the Series 2 Rick figure. And this Rick figure was just, I feel like he was way too tall. His arms were definitely way too long, like they come down to his knees. Like, let me move this right here. Well, not quite to his knees. But still, his arms are really long and his hands are really huge. So this was another one, like, he has standard articulation. Like, he has normal articulation, and then he just has swivel hips and swivel boots. Like, from the waist down, his articulation is horrible. So there he is next to the Series 2 Rick figure. Actually, this might be the re-release version. I think Series 2 came with the hat. I have both versions, but I couldn't remember which one was the original one. But still, this was another figure from Series 2 that they chose to redo. And finally, here he is next to Dale. So, overall, oops, I knew that was going to happen. The figure doesn't have much articulation at all. If you like the collar tops, then the articulation shouldn't bother you at all. But, you know, he's not the best figure, and the likeness isn't even great. That's why I hope McFarlane's going to start making Walking Dead figures again. We really need a new Shane figure. Maybe Season 1, not Season 2. Or maybe they could do this look and just give him normal articulation and a way better head sculpt, because McFarlane Toys has definitely improved on their figures since then. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.